Hey you guys, I wanted to do a quick little video on thinning. So a lot of times when you're planting seed, you're going to plant it a little too thick, thicker than it needs to be. The problem with sowing too thick is that your plants, depending on what they are, they won't be able to get to full size. So these are beets in this case, and I sowed them thick mainly because the seed was old and I didn't know how much germination I would have. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to thin them out, and I'm going to show you two different ways to do that. Now before you thin, you want to know what your final plant spacing wants to be. Now I would like these beets to ideally get about this big. Okay, so that means so you're going to take the diameter of the root and say every 3 inches, 2 or 3 inches, I want to have one plant. And then I usually double the amount of plants just because maybe a slug will come along and eat one of them. So I'm going to probably leave one plant every inch or so. Now there's a couple different ways to do this. The main thing you want to keep in mind is that you're not damaging the plants that you want to leave, and that they're nice and healthy. So you can kind of pick out healthy ones, and you want to locate those first with your eyes and then go through and thin the rest out. So I like these two plants. I probably won't keep both of them, but they're looking nice, so I'm going to pull out the rest of them. Now notice when I'm going by hand like this, I'm pulling them out at an angle, right? See how I'm pulling them out downwards or across the garden bed rather than pulling them straight up. If you pull them straight up, a lot of times they're going to loosen the soil more around the other plants. So if you pull them sideways like that, you can do less damage to that soil. Another thing that you can do is you can use something like scissors and go through and precisely trim the other plants out. Now these are just regular paper cutting scissors. I recommend some pruning fiskars. Those work really nicely. And then you can go through and prune those plants out. Now I'm being a little slow and deliberate. Normally when I'm thinning, I'm a lot more fast and dirty. So I'll just go through and I'll do it a little bit more kind of intuitively and say, okay, all these plants are coming out, and all these plants are coming out, and I won't be quite so particular. What I do like to do afterwards is go through, especially with root crops like beets, go through and hill them up just a little bit, kind of mound the soil up around them so that the little baby starts don't fall over. And then I'll go through and do that to all of these beets too. Okay. This way you're actually going to get nice full-sized plants rather than a bunch of little tiny beets that are like that big. All right, hope this is helpful to you guys. Bye.